All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Timmy. You're watching Rudy on Investments Cardboard of Beta. Today, per the request of everybody, guess what we're opening? We're going back. Pokemon SV02, the world famous, nicknamed by Rudy, the Mr. P set. Boy, we got a lot of little history here. My patron Jeremy H says, Rudy, slap me in the third testicle, throw me in the Thunderdome, and let's never look back. I said, dude, careful what you wish for. So today, I picked two SV02 Mr. P boxes. These were customer returns due to severe damage, and the customer had the old box cutter slit. So about a year ago, well, I guess maybe even 2 years now, I used to sell these by the case because nobody wanted them, and many dum-dums would slit the whole case, and they would slit the Pokemon box, and then they would get mad at me for saying that I did it. So we got a customer return, so Jeremy, you know what that means. You know what that means. Boxes that have been returned because people aren't happy with condition. Everybody knows we're in for a doozy on the singles. You know we're going to get the most insane single card pools in history. This is going to be the box that turns Mr. P into Mr. Double D's nuts P. I don't know. I'm smart. All right, folks, sit back, relax. My first opening of Mr. P. This product came out how long ago now? I guess we're going to move all the code cards to the side for the patron. I don't know the pack orders and fancy flipperoonies, so we're starting off pack one. We've got the Cloudman Whale Extra Protection. Not bad. Starting off with a nice little hit in pack one, everybody. I know. Most of you guys like watching Rudy Pokemon videos because I burn through packs, and I know the exact method of how to pronounce every single card in the set. And I know that gets a lot of you guys excited. Coming in hot with, oh, nothing. A hairy Yama. Okay, well, I was just swinging a mess, everybody. Boy, do I got a love-hate relationship with the Mr. P set, you know? Boy, this was a love-hate relationship, everybody. This set was such a big deal when it came out. The price swings. The old Wigglytuff. Everybody's attitude. You know, this product had, I think, 3 noticeable major reprints a long time ago. Now, does that matter today? Ooh, look what we... Ooh, piece of candy. All right, so we got, looks like Arachnid Balls. Very nice looking. Very beautiful looking card there, everybody. And we've got Giant Coco Melon Trainer. Very nice, everybody. So we got 3 hits already. Jeremy, this seems like a pretty solid start. I thought, feels pretty good right now, everybody. Seems to be holding our own right in here, which is nice. We got the old Hydrogen. Okay. Well, as of the filming this video, I believe Mr. P boxes are now 500 a box. And of course, every time, Pokemon is so wild, man. Every time, hey, we got the old Gyarados. Old man Rudy, I still like. I know everybody's all about these flashies and secret Illustrator rares and full art extended borderless left hand. I'm still old man. I like the basic looking things with just, honestly, even some of the reverse hollows with like the really nice, subtle, yet beautiful kind of, I just think it looks really nice. Old man Rudy. All right. Wow, really? Dang. I don't know. Again, we're not doing prices because Pokemon prices are as good as Spider-Man's pretty much web. They change all the time. So we got Boss's orders coming in hot. And we got Pikachu's extra fat, no, it's not fat Pikachu. That's Vivid Voltage. Very nice. I mean, I kind of told you. Everybody knows. You get a damaged box from Rudy or anything, you got to open it. You got to open it. Because you know it's going to have the best pulls in the history of pulls. We got Tyrannosaurus Rex. Very nice. I guess I'll just say it front and center in this video. No, folks, I do not expect there will ever be another substantial reprint of SV02. I'm just going to kind of get that front and center here. We're a couple minutes in. We've had some fun already. There is no notable. There's probably going to be some random loose packs. They may throw in an ancillary product or an accessory product. All right, we got a Cerebral on a Ledge, I think it's pronounced. But I can't believe... You know, I still get messages from the public and patron messages from you guys who just say, "Hey, Rudy," and I say, "What's up, home fries?" And they say, "Rudy, are we still expecting more reprints for Mr. P?" And I'm like, "Hey, we got Tinkerbell." And I tell everyone the same thing. I was like, I don't know who spreads these weird rumors about Pokemon reprints and this weird stuff that circulates online. It's been that way for years. Hey, we got the old luxurious ray gun. But I just don't know. I've always been fascinated where certain things start when it comes with the Pokemon reprint restock conversation. I've never figured it out. Hey, we got Chuck Norris Pikachu. That poor little guy. Somebody's get him a little bed and breakfast or something. That little dude just always looks so... He just looks sad. He just looks like he's just been working for 50 years, nothing to show for it. Inflation's eating him alive, and he's just upset. Ah, whoa, Snake King. Okay, that's a little something different there. But I've told you guys, I think at the beginning of this year, I made a comment to everybody about, you know, your number one priority for Scarlet and Violet era. Oh, did I miss a card? Oh. I was like, wait a minute, do we get another holo or anything? No? Alright, Earthworm Gem. But I've told everybody, I thought the SV01 through 4 should have been your most aggressive target for the first half of 2025. I mean, now nothing matters. We're in a whole new era. What is this thing? Veluza Palace? Is that a casino? I'm not sure what that card is. Oop. Well, we really stalled out here. We started off really good, Jeremy. But dang, like the last 5-6 packs, we just completely stalled. Can we please go back to getting some good hits here? Hey, see, all I had to do was ask nicely. All right, we got Tinkerbell. Tink-a-tink-tink-tink. Okay. And we got Rudy's Rabies. Beautiful looking card. Beautiful. Beautiful looking card, everybody. But yeah, I think one of the things I find the most interesting about Pokemon is the constant tug of war of the content creators. Oh, we got Hydrogen Missile again. And the attitude of what the general public thinks. And there's such a confusing thing about it because everybody online... Hey, look what we got here. Okay. Ulu, Lili, Ting Ting, Wada Wada Bing Bang. That's a nice little hit. Little starry sparkles there. I've always been fascinated by certain conversations about that. It's almost like Magic the Gathering. There's always this thing online where everyone thinks all the collector boxes have like a secret... who is this guy? Abominable Snowman. And everybody always thinks there's a secret hidden print location where they reprint Magic collector boxes. They don't tell anybody. It's the same thing with Pokemon. There's always these things that start online with rumors. I don't know why or where. Oh! Okay. Look at this little guy. Well, let's kind of look. This kind of like my high school picture here. We got old Bellybot. That's a neat little card. I've always been intrigued by the Pokemon culture, and it's always been fascinating to me how a lot of people feel they have a handle on, Spirit Bomb, and an understanding of how it works, or what causes the Pokemon market to work, or what causes the forces to be. And my always comment to everybody is just remember a few things. Oh, Excalibur. Okay. And I think it's tough for people to accept that. Remember, everything you see and hear online and social media, like... Who is this guy? Orphan bird? Orca? Like a whale? I don't know what that is. It's tough for all of us to understand that if you literally take every PokeTuber, every video of all of us put together, okay? Gyarados and a Wigglytuff, okay? And you combine all of it, the total number of actual unique people watching these videos is probably less than 1% of the entire Pokemon market. So let me stop for a second. Let me say that again. For everybody who thinks Pokemon and YouTube, all this stuff, the size of the Pokemon market is so big that the total number of people watching Pokemon videos on YouTube and social media represents less than 1% of the entire Pokemon collector market. All right, what do we got here? Quaalude EX? I'm not sure about that one, everybody. Again, we're getting a lot of pulls. I don't know. Comment below if my patron Jeremy's getting slapped in the balls or if he's doing really well. I don't know what's going on. We got Gyarados always coming in hot. Let me know below how bad or good the patron's doing. I do not know all the prices of Pokemon. I do not price check everything in advance. We've got here... What's this thing? Oh, nuts? Paw nuts? Oh, all right. Look at this. We got the old Tinkle... what's this? Tinkle Tankle? Or Tinkerbell again? Did we already get that one? Oh, no, wait. So one was an illustrator, one was just a fancy... Okay. So, oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. One's an EX and one's a regular. Pokemon! Yeah, I know. Shows how much I know, everybody. The business side of Pokemon and the enjoyment side is not always connected. We got Cerebral Rudy's head and Rudy's Pink Florida Flamingo. So, yeah, just laying that out there. I'm kind of holding off before I go to the next conversation topic, but I just want to see what's going on here. Tyrannosaurus again? I don't know if this is a good... Because, I mean, isn't this like... If you don't get like the top 1 or 2 major hits in the box, is it you pretty much just get clobbered? Isn't that how it is with Pokemon? Or we got low-key Rudy there. I'm not really sure if it's changed. Because I know a lot of these things, as they age, a lot of the cards end up becoming worth 10, 20, 30 bucks. So maybe that shifts the numbers. We got Water Rudy, Practice Studio, and Glimmer of Hope. That's not going to get us very far. But anyways, I've just always found the culture surrounding this stuff the most interesting. We got Jigglypuff's uncle, Jump Pluff. Yep, well, that's what happens when you live on waffle fries, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens, everyone. All right, coming in hot. Wow, Rudy's Rabies. Dang. So that is the end of box 1. Comment below, did the patron get clobbered in the face? Did Chuck Norris literally just hang out with his family and his stepsister? Or I don't know if last pack magic. Okay. We got a Copperhead Snake EX. So that's it for box 1. We are wrapping box 1. We have 12 full art, fancy illustrator, King Dingaling type hits. I don't know if I don't recognize any of those as being like major hits in the set though. I know there was a couple of them that I recognize, and I don't really recognize any of those as the kind of the super mega chase cards, everyone. So that is that, everyone. But all right, so we're gonna move to box 2, and like I said, like once every 1 to 2 years, I like to kind of open these things. And I like to kind of see kind of what's going on, to kind of get a talk with you guys. It's just because so much time goes by. I don't really get to see the updates or enjoy a lot of these things and see what's going on, you know? So I really like to kind of enjoy kind of little follow-ups, just to kind of, you know, have a little reflection. Because like, I'll never forget when this set came out. I will never forget SV02, man. I called it Mr. P from day one. Everybody was like, oh god, this set. You know, so, all right, here we go. Ooh, beautiful. Wow, beautiful luminous energy there. All right, pack 1, we got Ching Chong EX. Don't know if that's going to be considered a good hit or not. But pack 1, starting off with the Ching Chong. Not really sure if that's anything or not. My instinct says it's probably not. But I think... I guess the real question is, are we ever going to go back to an era where Pokemon prices and release is normal? I don't know the answer to that. Right now, we got Rudy squawking on a roof. It's a nice little hit there. I don't know if it's... Like, nobody knew and predicted the strength and degree of the bull market that we have in our place here. I never in a million years would have predicted that when we came out of the bad era in the bear market, I would have never, ever... Oh, we got a little hydrogen again there. I never saw it coming. And, you know, right now, everything is like, oh, Rudy's the only one historical, this and that. And I was like, look, folks, I bought stuff because... Oh, we got the old Copperhead again. You know, I bought a lot of this stuff because I just thought it was cheap. And I thought my downside risk wasn't that bad. And I was like, you know what? Even if I double my money in 5 years, I think it's still worth it. And that's really all there was to it, Excalibur. There really wasn't much more complicated thought put in this stuff. You know, but, you know, this is probably the strongest, greatest bull market in Pokemon history. Like, I don't know if people realize how extraordinary the current market conditions are. Like, it's an extraordinary thing. Like, this isn't a good market or a strong... This is historical levels of insanity, and it just keeps going. And that's the thing that just makes everybody just really shocked. Whoa, okay. All right, look at this pack here. We got the old Dandan, and we got Pikachu EX with his butt in the air again. That's a nice little double pack. That's crazy how you can go with like 3-4 packs with nothing, and then a single pack, you get like a back-to-back hit like that. That's always been a weird thing with Pokemon with me. That's such a bizarre pull pattern. Boss's Orders, beautiful little trainer right there. Is the Wafu like all the chick Pokemon thing? Is that still a thing? Are people like obsessed with certain chicks, young chicks in the Pokemon Remember, people were buying them out. Anything with like a teenage chickadoo on Pokemon cards, that was like a thing for a while. I remember hearing about that. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't know if they print the chicks and the trainer cards anymore. Boss says, wow, look at the difference. Dang. That really doesn't even feel like the same card. Like, even with the art and everything, wow, dang. The difference in just the eye appeal of the card. It's not even just like there's more art. It's like a whole different vibe. Like, I thought it was the same art, but I guess they actually used different art. Gyarados. I kept thinking it was the same piece of art. They just revealed the rest of it, but actually, I guess Pokemon uses different art for each one on there. I was kind of surprised to see that. That's interesting, everyone. Energy and Rudy's Slay King again. So, anyways, just want to give everyone that kind of comment there. I can't emphasize enough to everybody that what we are going through with Pokemon is not normal. Nobody knows how long it's going to last, but that is the state of the market. Yes, it's bubbly and crazy feeling, but it doesn't mean the market's going to crash. That's the issue with things. The irrational nature of markets can just last so long. You know, it can very, very confuse and trick everybody when something can stay this way longer than we all can possibly imagine. Like, nobody 6 months ago would have expected the market conditions in the new base set to be this. Wow, where are the hits? Holy smokes, Jeremy, this second box is I thought the first box was pretty decent, but this second one, I feel like we're just not pulling anything. My goodness. Finally, all I had to do was complain. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So nobody cares about the magic card. That's like the worst card in the set. So we've got the Dun Dun D's Nuts EX with one giant nut on the screen. Absolutely great. Best pull in the set right there, everybody. I was like, all I had to do was complain. I was like, we haven't had any good cards in this set. Anyways. Alright, moving forward here, everyone. Let's keep moving. And we are looking at Rudy's Sableye. Oh man, I think I showed that code. Sorry, Jeremy. I don't know if the older codes, do they expire? Can you still use older codes like a long time? I don't know if there's a limitation to that. Whoa, Gyarados. Ah, the old Tinker Tinkle. Double Tinkle. Okay. Alright, put the next door. Our garbage little Pikachus and Magikarps that nobody cares about. But feels like box 2, it feels like it's okay. Not the worst box opening we've ever had. I don't even know if we have any cards that are over $20 in this opening, but you know what? Ooh, Rudy's Fletch Finder 5000. Now, just so everybody gets a little lore on this, this was the first card that I used to build the Scalper Scanner 5000. The Fletch Finder 1000 was what I used when I was in my younger days in college, before I evolved and upgraded the technology to the Scalper Scanner 5000. Just want to make sure everybody understands some Rudy lore and Rudy history right here. Jet Energy. And Chuck Norris Pikachu again. I always feel bad for that little guy. Tell me. I always feel bad for that little guy. Just is what it is, I guess, you know? Alright, everybody. Moving to Hydrogen Man. We got Rudy the Rookie and Rudy's Spirit Animal. Swing and a miss again. Alright, everybody. But, again, as we march forward into this new era, you know, no one's ever seen... See, I love some of these subtle reverses with, like, that nice little highlight and accent. I just don't think anyone could have ever comprehended a market that's this outrageous. And, you know, I don't... Ooh, best card in the set. Rudy's Novocaine Extra Special Potential. This was a spin-off of the Scalper Scanner 3000. That was a kind of a... Well, we had to do a fork there. A very cool little pull there. But... anyways, overall, it feels like, Jeremy, I think you're going to do okay in these garbage boxes I sold you. And coming in hot with Rudy's Lycor Radiator. Wait, Lycor? Or no, Lidor. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe a unicorn? Lidor? A unicorn mixed together? I don't know. Napoleon Dynamite, maybe? Boss's orders again. Okay. I guess now that we're going into the new era again of Pokemon, I can't believe people still think, like, Pokemon can't even print the set they're releasing and get it out on time. They can't even get us Destined Rivals, the previous set. They can't even get us the new Mega Evolutions base set. And people are talking about any day they're going to crash, you know, Mr. P from, like, fucking 10 sets ago. Like, that's how dumb the public is. Dendra and Rudy's weaving. But that's the world we live in, everybody. That's the world we live in. And I've told you all many times, I've speculated on the internet that many of these rumors, these things that people say, the people who start them, or some of them things, are obviously going to be, maybe they know that it's not true. Maybe they just do that to try to just instill fear in the market, or maybe it's just good clickbait content. Everybody has their own reason for doing things, you know? It's very difficult to really know in a modern world with all the news cycles and the drama and the clickbait. And, I mean, look, let's be honest about everybody. Drama in clickbaits, nothing in the close. Really? Drama in the clickbaits, it pays money. That's what people want. They want to grow their social media presence. Woo. All right, 20 minutes in the video. Jeremy, there's your box too. Now that we've let enough time go by, obviously, Jeremy, you hit the best card in the set. We got the fucking legendary Magikarp over here. God knows how expensive that bad boy is. I tried to play it off for as long as I could to make sure we can get a lot of extra comments. Two are going to be like, oh my God, Rudy doesn't know what he's doing. So let's, I want to kind of let that go 5-10 minutes. But seriously, Jeremy, congrats. Box 2, you did get the best card in the set. The outrageously epic Magikarp, everybody. I don't know if that's a $500. I don't know if it's a $1,000 card by now. I guess we can take a quick look at the condition, everybody, in case you guys are kind of curious there. Centering looks very, very nice. How's our corners in the back there? We do have a little tiny nicks there. I see the little from the pack there. So this is probably going to be, in my opinion, this would not grade like a pristine, this would not be a perfect 10 to me. But again, depends what company you use to grade. Obviously, if you grade with PCG, PremierCardGrading.com, this would probably either be a soft 10 or a strong 9.95 range. Just looking at it, there's no way you'll get a perfect 10 or a gold label or anything because you got some little tiny dots there in the corners. I don't know. Maybe you grade Beckett, they still give you a fucking 15 or something. I don't know. Or maybe they just flip a coin and they see if the secretary sleeps with them that day and they just give you a BGS 15, 16. I don't know. But anyway, seriously, Jeremy, congrats. Great box too. I mean, just the Magikarp alone probably paid for the entire box or probably paid for the entire video for you, in my opinion. Past that, just want to remind everybody, you know, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of anger in the world, a lot of clickbaity stuff. Everybody is very agitated. The world is a very jittery place. There's a lot of divide between politics, religion, news cycles. You know, even in the card world, you've got all the businesses, the people who enjoy the card world. They have businesses and singles and flip cards, a sell sealed product, and then of course you got the game piece army who screams and squeals about, you know, scalper scanners and you know, everything in our modern society. Everybody's picked a side and everybody seems to hate the other side. That's just the world we live in. I find it incredibly disappointing and sad. I think everybody just needs a mouth hug and some friends, but you know, that's just my opinion. The world is a beautiful place. The Pokemon thing, we should all be incredibly grateful and incredibly thankful that Pokemon in 2025, you know, going to be on 30 years of Pokemon pretty soon. What, we got a year or two till the 30th anniversary? What, 24 months or something? I mean, we should all be thankful that this company is continuing to produce and create new arts, new styles, new sets. And, you know, they're managing the company as best they can. Yes, the demand, the market forces, the reprints of why do we not have any more booster box restocks anymore? Why is it just accessory items? You know, the world is in a different place. Things have shifted right now. And eventually things will shift again. But I think people need to really step back and just be more grateful for the time that we are alive, the world that we have, and the amazingness that we all have the privilege of being a part of. You know, everybody says, oh, well, you know, pre-2020 Rudy, the world is better. Rudy, pre-9/11, the world is better. The 90s Rudy, and again, I'm not disagreeing. I have nostalgia towards old video games, old cards, old Magic, old everything. It feels better. It takes you back to a different time. I totally get it. But we cannot downplay that things are never as bad as they seem. And emotion fuels and circulates and regurgitates and feedback loops. And that's what the machine of social media, it gets us all wound up into this cycle. And we all need to be careful because it is a weapon of massive power and massive, you got to be careful with it. You got to be careful with this stuff because it can change your outlook to make you think the world is worse or better than it is. And usually the truth is somewhere in the middle. So again, I'm very fortunate, grateful, very blessed, very lucky, whatever word choice you want to use, that I am in the position I'm in. I've made choices over the last 10 to 20 years in the card world that have pretty much worked out incredibly well for me, and I'm grateful for that every day. And even for those of you starting out, even those you don't have very much, even for those of you going through personal life issues or health issues or relationship or family or anything, just remember, life loves to test us. We don't know who we are until we go through bad things. And it really makes us learn about ourselves. And you don't understand why until years go by and you can turn around and understand. That's the shitty, complicated part of life. You don't know why things happen until years later. And that's how you learn. And the best piece of advice I can give you guys, you will learn more, be more successful, and have a more fulfilling, happy life if you're just nice to people and you're open-minded to conversations and you try to do the best you can. It doesn't mean do stupid things, doesn't mean get into debt, doesn't mean take excessive risk. It just means as long as you try to do the right thing. Sure, you could scam, you could steal things from people. Sure, you could probably get away with it. You could probably steal stuff from other buddy, steal a couple $100, steal this, but it will get you. And that little shortcut jump you try to do, you will not win the long game. And just you'll have more success and happiness. Just life's a journey. Enjoy it, everybody.